Women threw themselves at him. How'd that work out for him?
Now, Jordan Peterson, my friend, went on Joe Rogan, my friend, podcast the other day. They talked about me, apparently. Now, I ain't seen it yet, but it's in the script, so hopefully it's good, because I ain't in the mood to have my feelings, sir. I'll tell you that. When can you ever take having your feelings, sir? Let's get into this. This is Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson talking about me. Check it.
Young men, in particular, are more likely to be rejected.
That better not be me.
Young women may have difficulty finding the ideal man, but they don't face the same degree of universal rejection. So it's hard on young men.
Well, they're not the pursuers, right, as much. The young women aren't.
Right. Well, and women are the gatekeepers, fundamentally, of sex. Sure. So that's their essential power. That's also the power of chastity.
And that's the scary thing about acquiring wealth, is that wealth allows you to bypass the genetic social hierarchy.
Yeah, well, I talked to Russell Brand about this a lot. Women threw themselves at him. How'd that work out for him? Not great. It threw him into great spiritual confusion.
It certainly did cause some spiritual confusion and some legal difficulties.
It was empty and hollow, and that's worth knowing. You see, because you might say to the people who are interested in the shadow figures, and Tate plays that role, the master of women, let's say. Why not do that? Because you need an answer to that. If it's certainly when it's better than being lonely, isolated, bitter, and ineffectual. That's for sure.
Right.
Well, it's because you don't confuse a stepping stone with the pinnacle. That's why. There's way more beyond that.
This is where Jordan Peterson is great, is when he delves into clinical psychology, as he alluded to there in his conversation with Rogan. We've discussed this many times. As a young man, I felt unappealing, somehow abominable and outside. When I discovered as I got older and became sort of better looking and charming and then famous and alluring, and suddenly there was this incredible wealth of opportunities. It was like being, as I've written before in my autobiography, Keys to Charlie's Chocolate Factory. It's actually Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. But we all know that the golden ticket technique is a way of finding a new progeny to run the chocolate factory. Having sudden access to sugar or abundant access to sex is not good for the spirit. It doesn't generate a good feeling in either of the participants. And when I say either, that's sometimes there was like 9 of us in there, me and 8 others. I went into that world with an open heart and an open mouth, looking for the Lord, looking for God, without knowing that was what I was looking for. I had such incredible access. In the end, though, those creatures that I made my gods, fame and shame, became as serpents as surely as they must, to reclaim that which belongs to the Lord only. Worship no other gods. Sex is pleasurable in order that we have sex. If we make the pleasure the goal and aim of sex, we miss the point. Personally, I don't believe there should be domination in relationships, whether they are practiced over decades or practiced over half an hour. That the point of sex, and coitus indeed, is harmony, unity. One of the aspects of the culture war that I found most disturbing and appalling is the continual attempts to turn men and women against one another. Men and women align and chime together in beautiful harmony. It is the source of life. It is the way via which life enters into the earth. It is sacred. All things are being made profane. Pornography makes the sacred acts of sex into a profane carnal act. I know, and you know, that you can stimulate and defibrillate great power through sexuality, particularly if you're someone whose sexuality is something that you know how to maneuver and use, if it flows through you well, if you know what you're doing. If you add to that the sort of squaring and cubing and elevating and amplification that can come with a culture that worships and reveres celebrity, that tells you that if you're not a celebrity, if you're not sleeping around, you're not good enough, to all the young men that watch too much pornography, or any pornography at all, because any is too much, I would tell you there is a better way, that we should not be objectifying one another, not on screen nor in person. When you're looking into the eyes of another person, when you're touching the skin of another person, you're engaged in a sacred act. And I will tell you what I tell my daughters: when you touch people, you make sure you touch them with love, and if anyone touches you, you make sure they're touching you with love. And when you're playing with someone, you look at their face and make sure that they're playing as well. If your sister's not laughing, that's not a game anymore. I teach them this all the time because I know it. I've always known it. I have never, ever not known God. I have known great sin many times for much of my life, but God has always been with me. My heart is open, and as you can see, baby, I ain't got nothing to hide. That's why I got to trust the old justice system of the United Kingdom. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments and chat. Can we trust them?
Dr. Gundry, thank heavens we can rely on you. You may be getting intoxicated without even knowing it, but this gut cleanse protocol from Dr. Gundry will help you to eliminate a potential toxin that is in all healthy foods. You're going to have to watch this because if you're interested in the Maha movement and improving your health, if you've experienced symptoms like weight gain and fatigue and digestive discomfort, I get all of these things, stiff joints, even skin problems, well, you're going to want to watch this video by Dr. Gundry. If you want to see this, which could provide you with health information that will be immediately beneficial, go to gutcleanseprotocol.com/brand, gutcleanseprotocol.com/brand. The video is in the description because after years of research, Dr. Gundry has decided to release an informative video to the public free. And it is an uninterrupted showcasing of what foods you need to avoid if you want to eliminate those symptoms. That's joint pain, fatigue, digestive discomfort, and even weight gain. Have a look at this video by Dr. Gundry.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.